Hi, and welcome to an unboxing of Chronicle Collectibles Tippett Studio RoboCop 2 Cain statue. This statue was made using the original masters and one of the original filming puppets used in RoboCop 2 for the Cain character. Okay, so here is the brown shipping container that the collectible comes in, and just to give you an idea of size, it is roughly 36 centimetres in depth, which is 14 inches, 42 centimetres in width, which is roughly 16.5 inches, and 60 centimetres in height, which is 24 inches. For people wishing to know, Chronicle Collectibles do not individually number their statues or items. The only way you can tell what number you may have is by the carton number on the brown shipping container itself. Okay, so let's get on with the unboxing. Okay, so here is the Chronicle Collectibles Legacy Series Cain product box once you've removed it from the brown shipping container. It's a beautiful box, it's full colour, it has a matte varnish overall, but RoboCop 2 is in a gloss varnish and Cain down the bottom is in a metallic silver. You get an OCP logo on the bottom, on the side, which is obviously for RoboCop 2, which is slightly different from RoboCop 1. And on the back you get film shots, you get a portrait of Phil Tippett, and you get some information about the statue itself. Overall, some time and money has been spent on this box. It's a great looking box, but we'll move on to the innards and start building Cain itself. Okay. So inside our full colour graphics box comes our typical polystyrene foam housing the statue. On top of the box we get our certificate of authenticity saying that it's a licensed product. So let's move on and start removing the tape and seeing what's inside the polystyrene. So I've just removed the tape from the top layer of the box, and if we open it, this is what we get. We get the instructions of how to put Cain together, and we also get the base. Now people may be looking at it and going, why is it wrapped in white tissue paper? Well, to cut a long story short, I think I received an ex-display stock and half the packaging was missing. So I have actually opened this box before and repackaged it. Primarily everything's in the same position, but your packaging may look a bit different to what mine is. Anyway, I'll go ahead and remove the base. So this is what the RoboCop 2 Cain base looks like. It has again the Phil Tippett signature on the plaque. Again, I've seen these and this is an original. As I said in my Ed 209 video, it's not screen printed, because if you look at the Ed 209 video and this video, you'll see that the Phil Tippett's signature varies slightly. You get the OCP RoboCop 2 logo on the base, and again you get the RoboCop 2 logo on the back, along with all the other details, and a rubber base. It's a nice rubber base again, so there shouldn't be any trouble with it slipping on your stands or anything like that. So that's the base, and now we'll move on to the below part and see the Cain statue itself. Okay, so I've removed the tape from the bottom layer, so let's go ahead and open the box up. And as you can see, all the pieces that go to make Cain are there. And as I mentioned, this packaging may be slightly different to what you get when you receive yours, or if you have received yours, but primarily the layout is still the same. You get your arms here, you get your other arms there, legs here, and the head here, and the cannon for the back of Cain here. I'll start removing these. I won't remove them just yet. I might remove them once I start building them. But as I said, I think I got an ex-display stock, so a lot of my original packaging was missing. But given it was the only one left in Australia at the time, even though I think there's going to be a new batch coming out in August, September of 2015, which I was unaware of at the time. Yours will be slightly different in packaging wise, but the layout will be the same. So I'll start removing bits and pieces and I'll start building it. So I've taken the pieces out of the polystyrene packaging and this is what we get. We get Cain's legs, we get one of his arms, another arm, the cannon that goes on the back, again another one of his arms, a fourth arm, and the body itself. All of these are made out of a solid resin. There's some debate of whether it's too plasticky or not. I don't feel that there's the debate at all. It's solid, it's nice, it's well put together as far as I can tell. So I'll go on and start building Cain itself. Okay, so we're about to start putting Cain together. Now it does come with these instructions. They're clear and they're unclear at the same time. So we're going to try and take you through a step-by-step process of how it actually goes together. If anybody picks up that I'm doing it wrong or there's a screen inaccuracy the way the cables run, please let me know, but we'll try and do our best at this stage. So let's go for it. So what we might do is we'll put the legs in first. So they currently go around the right way. Like so. Just remember that the body part, that actually does face forward. Just like Ed Toynami, Physio, they do have chiseled areas, so you can only put them on one way. As you can see, it does have a chisel there and a spike to go into the certain areas. So we'll put the top on now. Okay, sorry about that. I just replaced the camera because I didn't realise how big the Cain statue actually was. Just go back on. If I take this out, hopefully it'll come out. If I just take it out there. As you can see, there is a chiseled piece and a spike that fits automatically into that position. You can only go in one way because they've got chiseled pieces that slot straight in, and as I said, it can only go in one position. So I'll put this back in, if I can. There we go. So Cain's body sits basically in that position. It's not directly front on, it's off center a bit. Just fill it down. Now if I turn this around, we'll start with his arm positions. Now there's two arms that go on either side. The bottom arms are, again, have a chiseled area, so they can only go in one way, and the bottom ones are also magnetic, so as you can see they sit like that, even though that's not positioned in. Now Now, as regards to these braids, I'm not exactly sure, so I'm sort of following the diagrams and other people's photos, but it's best to put these in first. So I think they go in this way, with the arm going like that. And again, you have a chiseled area. This one has a pin on it, and it can only go in one way, but you put the braids in first. So I'm assuming there may or may not be an up or down way to put this. Okay, so I've put both arms on his right hand side. The pins go obviously for the inner arm down here, and for the outer arms, or outer arm up here. The only thing I'm not too sure is if the pin marked 125 degrees is the bottom or the middle pin, and the other one, plain one, is the top pin, or if they're reversed. That's the only thing I'm not sure of for movie accuracy. I'm sure somebody will let me know if it's meant to be the other way around. The only thing I did notice is they just sort of hold there. They don't sort of really stick in, so they have a tendency to pop out. Again, I don't know if they're meant to stick in or if they do pop out or just meant to hold there, but I just did notice that. Again, if anybody thinks that I've put it in incorrectly, please let me know. So I'll go around and work on the other side now. Okay, so we're working on the other side of the Cain statue now. I've just put this arm in. As you can see, the braid goes in there, and the arm, again, it's a magnetised arm, sits in there. So hopefully I'm doing that correctly. And then we move on to this arm. Again, it has a pin with a chisel thing that fits directly into a slot there. So I'll go and work on that now and come back. So I've just put the left arm in now, both arms. The first one being the magnetised arm and the second one being the pin arm. Hopefully again I've put the braided hoses in their correct positions. The only thing I would mention is when you are putting this statue together, just be careful of how you are handling it. It is a bit tricky to put the braided hoses in, so I found myself sort of holding Cain's head a bit. Probably not ideal, so you just got to be very careful when inserting the pins and the braids and everything. You can do it by yourself. If you've got an extra helper, it might be advisable, but it's just be mindful of that when you're putting the statue together. I'll spin it around and we'll move on to the cannon on the back. Okay, so I've turned the Cain statue around, and obviously this is the back view of it. We have the cannon here that mounts on his back, and that goes in here. You can swivel it about marginally, but that's primarily where it sits. This arm does not rotate around, it is solid, so just be very mindful of that. So that is the back view. I'll do a couple of close-ups in a minute. I'll turn it around in a second and show you the front view. But as far as I can tell so far, it's a pretty good looking statue. So here's the completed statue from the front. It's what I could say is a pretty good looking statue. The detail in it is just amazing. The finish of it's damn good as well. The only things to be mindful of is it does have a lot of intricate parts, and as I said before, just be careful in putting it together that you don't sort of break those when handling it. There is a few rubber, I think there's a rubber part, and there's some new rubber parts on the back, which I'll show you later. I'm assuming they're high quality rubber, but just be mindful of that for preservation purposes, because we all know what rubber does when it gets into humid environments and everything like that. So yes, I'll finish off by showing you some close-ups of the Cain statue. So I hope you enjoyed this video and come back to see more videos later on.